Hi, I'm Brian Heady, and I am fired up. I have Michael Marsh with me today, and Michael came in to talk about body cameras. And I can tell you that the public throughout the United States is really concerned about some of the attacks on police officers that we've witnessed in our country, just unwarranted, unnecessary attacks against our police officers. And certainly we in the United States, and Michael and I agree, that we need to do something to help our police officers out, to ensure that not only are the police officers protected, but that the community is protected against needless lawsuits and needless allegations against police wrongdoing. And to that end, Michael has brought in a body camera. Michael, tell me about this little gizmo.
Thank you very much, dear Brian. So this is a police-issued body camera, and October of last year, I really took an interest in body cameras. My friend was Corey Jones. He was shot and killed by a plainclothes officer.
Corey Jones. Now, Corey is the black man that was shot down in Palm Beach Gardens?
Yes, he was stranded down on I-95. A law enforcement officer from Palm Beach Gardens came supposedly to help him see why he was broken down, and he was shot and killed during whatever type of exchange they had. And
for the viewers and to refresh my memory, Mr. Jones had pulled off of 95 and he was on an exit ramp.
Yes.
And this was in
Palm Beach
Gardens.
Yes, it was around the off ramp. This particular officer was doing a burglary surveillance at the DoubleTree, which was adjacent to 95. Corey broke down, just came back from a gig, and this officer supposedly went the wrong way on the off ramp to go see why he was broken down. The two came into contact. Corey never had any idea this was a police officer, and Corey was shot 6 times. We waited a little over 7 months to finally get justice. And after a grand jury decided it was excessive force, he's now awaiting a murder trial.
The police officer?
Yes.
And, you know, and there's one of the things that I think that why this is important. If that police officer had a body camera and there was some reason or for his actions, we the taxpayers would be protected, because it'd be a record. And now I've talked about body cameras with the local police. I've spoken with the sheriff's department. I've spoken with deputies, and I've also spoken with Vero Beach deputies. And I tell you, I hear a real reluctance for body cameras.
I also do. Palm Beach Gardens, I worked very closely with the assistant chief down there, and I am happy to say that though they were part of the problem, they now are part of the solution. They now decided to roll out with a body cam initiative. Actually, as of today, they will actually conform to House Bill 93. And for those who don't understand House Bill 93, it was a piece of legislature due to the shooting of Corey Jones that basically stated if these agencies were body cameras, there were certain policies and procedures that they had to follow. They would have a cloud storage. There would be an administrator that would control that particular cloud storage. The problem with that legislature is it did not mandate all law enforcement agencies. That's kind of my crusade. If we want to bridge the gap between the distance that the public cannot trust law enforcement because there's no transparency. We need to know if we're going to let them play judge, jury, and executioner, we need to see what's taking place. And that's why we need to go back and mandate that they have to wear body cameras. But with the body cameras, we will have an honest account, and it's not just against law enforcement, it's to also protect law enforcement. For example, just in Palm Beach County, they just got done selling multi-million-dollar lawsuits on excessive force. We're not too far away in Indian River County from that. A couple years back, we had a young man, Derek Washington. That case is still pending right now, where there was an excessive force from an Indian River County Sheriff's deputy. So what are we waiting for? Another Corey Jones? Fortunately, Derek's still alive, but his life is ruined. And the officer, just like we hear time after time, wasn't afraid for his life. If we had the body camera, we would get another angle versus the dash camera, versus the suspect, versus what the officer is saying. We will see exactly what they're seeing. And this is what we need. We need this emerging technology so we can save another life as well as another lawsuit.
You know, Michael, I would like to start out on any of these things. I would always like to start out with the premise that the police officer did nothing wrong. The problem that I have, and the problem that the community and people throughout the United States have, is that with cell phones and with the videos that are available, we have way too often seen where a police officer really did things that he shouldn't have done. So I understand that a friend of yours lost his life in a stop, and I listened to your side of the story, and certainly I think that the case could be made that this gentleman should have never lost his life. But I just see this body camera as not only a protection for the police officer, but as a protection for the citizens of our community, that we know, and we can instantly know by watching the recording, we can instantly know whether our police officers had, in any given case, in fact done the right thing. I don't understand the reluctance. I understand why you're on the crusade that you're on, but I tell you, I'm on your side with respect to these body cameras. I think that it's not an expense for our police departments, but rather it's a cost-saving measure.
You said exactly what I was just thinking. It exactly is a cost savings. The cloud storage, as well as the training, as well as the body cameras themselves, you're looking a few $100,000. But once you have that in place, then the only thing you have left is just the training. You have the equipment, it's just the maintenance. Think about X amount of lawsuits, just one or two a year, 20 million, 30 million. I mean, a couple $100,000 is well worth it.
I think that a couple $100,000 is not even close to what an attorney would want to pick up this case. Michael, if I could, I'll ask you. I'd really like to get you back on for another segment of Fired Up and talk more about this issue. But I think that this is something that we need in the community, not only to protect our police officers, but also to protect the public and to protect the future lawsuits against the county. This will tell us whether or not the police officer did the right thing. I'm Brian Heady. I am Fired Up.